All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be dialing in from. My name is J. Joshua Beisel, and I am the CEO and co-founder of myPhoneRoom.com. Now, if you're watching tonight's video via live cast on Facebook, I've got some really important instructions for you. I'm only going to live cast the very first few minutes of this webinar. To get all the information that I'm going to be sharing with you, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to myPhoneRoom.com and click on the big orange button that says check in via Facebook. And when you go there, here's what's going to happen. It's going to give you the event information. And if you click on tickets, all you have to do is actually follow instructions. It's 100% free. You can register and you'll see all of the information, all the PowerPoints, everything right here, right from my screen via GoToWebinar. So again, if you're just joining me, I want to make sure that you get onto the webinar. And this is for those of you that are joining us via Facebook Live. For all of you that are joining us already via the event on GoToWebinar, I've got some instructions for you as well. I want to make sure that you get checked in on Facebook. I've just sent everyone an event link, so check that. I want you to get over and get connected with us on Facebook. Here's why this is so important. Each and every one of you came out tonight because you want to learn how to grow your business in 2017. And by the way, some of the information that I'm going to be sharing with you is probably going to forever change your view of a home-based business, because some big things have happened in 2017 that most people are simply not aware of. Once you see what is actually happening in the opportunity seeker world, if you will, once you understand the response rates that are happening and why they're happening, you're going to get fired up and excited about the results you should be creating in your business this year. And here's why that's so important. For those of you that are actually watching this, especially those of you that are watching this live, I'm going to use this Facebook Live to actually teach you live how to generate leads for your home-based business, how to actually do the right prospecting, how to build relationships, and more importantly, how to actually go out and recruit. Let me ask you a question for all of you out here in the audience. How many of you would love to have an opportunity to learn firsthand, watching somebody live, how to recruit people for your team? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Now, I'm going to be doing it for free via Facebook Live, so you're going to get to hear one side of the conversation, but only my phone room members are going to actually be able to log into my dialer and hear the other side of the conversation with prospects as well. So with that said, we have a lot of information that we need to cover. If you haven't already heard the news, we are doing some big things right now with my phone room. We're relaunching. So the first 5 or 10 minutes, I'm just going to share with you what's happening via Facebook Live. Then we're going to finish this up and we're going to really just focus in on the PowerPoint information. So for those of you joining me via Facebook Live, don't miss this opportunity. Go right now to myphoneroom.com, click the big orange button that says check in live via Facebook, and you'll get instructions on how to get the ticket right now to get into this webinar so that I can show you what's happening and how some of the My Phone Room technology is going to change business building, recruiting, team building forever. So you're not going to want to miss it. Now, with that said, folks, we are really going to jump in here right now. And the one thing I want you to understand is that network marketing has completely changed. 2017 is a complete game changer. And I also want you to understand that in addition to that, my phone room has changed. So everything you probably think you knew has changed. Everything we do is based on helping you get the right leads, helping you get those leads on the phone only with qualified prospects, and then most importantly, helping you understand and giving you the tools you need to turn those leads into relationships, because it's all about relationships. Now, 2017 is huge. For those of you that are on Facebook Live, you're missing the webinar. I'm going to start showing off some information right here. You need to get logged in. So for those of you joining me via GoToWebinar, I'm really excited that all of you are out here. I want to talk about the 3 game-changing trends that have happened in 2017 that you need to know about. It's so important. Number 1, and this is big, the response from business opportunity seekers to an opportunity in 2017. We're 90 days in. It's the end of the first quarter tomorrow, right? The first 90 days, our sustained response rate between where we were last year at any point and where we are this year, year to date, is that we're seeing a minimum 30% increase. So if you've tried before, you didn't get the results you were looking for, I'm going to tell you right now, 2017 is probably that game changer that you've been looking for, because people are finally responding to an opportunity to build their home-based business. Now, the next thing that I want you to understand is virtually every single person who is responding to a home-based business, they're going online, they're opting in somewhere. Here's the thing, more than likely they're using their cell phone. And that's really important, as we're going to talk about on this webinar, because how you interact with that person, the best way to actually reach that person isn't inherently obvious. So knowing that 90% of them are not using a landline, they're actually only using what? Their cell phone, that's going to be a game changer. We're going to talk a little bit about that. The next thing that I want you to understand, and this is really important, and we're going to talk about this in depth on tonight's webinar. So again, if you're just joining me via Facebook Live, you need to make sure you go to myPhoneRoom.com, click on the orange button there that says check in via Facebook. That's going to get you to where you need to be inside this webinar, because we're going to be talking about something else that's really, really changed. And this is critical. I need all of you to understand this. Everyone on the planet has been conditioned to respond to events and appointments. Now, I remember, and this is many years ago, so I'm taking everybody way back, it was more than 10 years ago when I started building my business. Here's what I found. I would generate a lead on the internet, and then I would call that person. I would say, hey, this is Josh, and I'm with MLM Firepower. How are you? And the person would say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're actually on the phone. And people thought I was a celebrity because they had visited my website and then I was calling them, okay? But that was more than 10 years ago. It's 2017. If you're using a link, if you're trying to build your business by simply sharing a link with someone, posting a link where they can see it, sending it to them in an email, you're never going to get results. It's absolutely going to fail. If you want to have real success in your business, you have to learn to leverage the power of events. Now, I did a little bit of research, and it's a huge percentage of Americans, and I know this is true around the world as well, there's a huge percentage of Americans that are actually logged into Facebook every single day. And according to Facebook, it's like 60% of those people will use a Facebook event every single month. My point is this, myPhoneRoom has a system built in that will allow you to turn any video or any link that you might currently be using or anything into an actual live event that you can share with your prospects. And when you do, the response rate is infinitely larger. So folks, we're going to jump right in here. I've got a lot to share. I'm going to close the Facebook Live feed. I want to thank everyone for joining me out here on Facebook Live. If you liked what you see, if you like the content, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing live prospecting, live recruiting, live lead generation via Facebook Live, and you're going to have an opportunity to join us, but only myPhoneRoom members are going to get access to see the other side of those calls and to see the inside of the marketing. So with that said, I'm going to sign out from Facebook, and all of you here with me right now on this webinar, we're going to jump into some real content. First and foremost, we're going to be giving away over $5,000 worth of bonuses tonight. So if you see something that makes sense, if you say, wow, that myPhoneRoom, that really makes sense to me, then there's never going to be a better time than right now for you to actually jump in and get started, because I'm going to be giving away leads, I'm going to be giving away some free memberships, so you absolutely, positively cannot miss this as we go. Now, I know that many of you have been kind of hearing the buzz. We've got some new technology. What is it? What does it mean? We're going to be covering that out here on tonight's webinar as well. Bottom line is this, if you're marketing to opportunity seekers, 90% of the time, you are absolutely marketing to them via their cell phone. And when you're trying to turn that lead into a prospect and that prospect into a relationship, and to get that prospect out to an event, you need to be connecting with them via text marketing so that you can, really be right there in their hand giving reminders. Now, I know that about a third of you out here on tonight's webinar actually got text reminders about the appointment. Some of you we didn't reach to get permission to send it out, but a lot of you out here on tonight's webinar are actually here because we were text marketing with you back and forth, right? So you really want to make sure that if you're going to be working with prospects in 2017 and beyond, that you are leveraging the latest technology. It's so important Now, I want you to think for just a moment, what would happen if you went home, realized that you had won the lottery, and then you decided the next day to take $2 million, $3 million, and go build your own marketing center, right? Full of people with marketing experience, full of people who could actually jump on the phone and call your prospects for you and follow up with them. What if you had an opportunity to build your own multi-million-dollar marketing center that had a team of people that could help you get the right response to all of your marketing? Well, that's exactly what we've done here with myPhoneRoom.com. And here's the thing, you're going to have an opportunity to actually share what we're doing with myPhoneRoom to other people that are in a home-based business, people that are in your downline, upline, crossline, people that you've met. Hey, listen, we've all been in network marketing companies before, right? So I know that a lot of you, if I said, I want you to make a list of friends and family, you'd say, no, no, no. But if I said, make a list of 10 people that you know that have been or are in network marketing and share myPhoneRoom with them and pick up an extra $200, $400, $800 commission, I know you'd be open-minded to that. So we'll get into that a little bit more as tonight's webinar goes on, but I do have a lot of content that I really want to focus on. Let's do this. I normally do this at the beginning of the webinar. Didn't have time because we were integrating Facebook Live. But for all of you out here on the webinar tonight, I want you to grab the little questions box, and I want you to just type in the letter Y. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you can hear me, that you can see the screen. Really important. I've got some questions that we need to go through. Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to welcome everybody out here. Let me ask you this, okay? This is going to be really important. Don't put your keyboard away. Really important. How many of you out here on tonight's company, okay, are with more than one company? All right, most of you, right? I want you to take the company that you believe is the most important company to your business, and I want you to type it in right now. Okay, so just your one. Where we go? We've got Business Success Alliance. We've got Organo Gold. We've got Mobe. We've got Amway. We've got a company called Berrien. We got Talk Fusion, Asante, Hodo. Elite Marketing, Longevity, and ID Theft Protection, Melaleuca. We've got Plexus, Send Out Cards, a nutrition company, Longevity, 8-Figure Dream Lifestyle. Welcome. We've got Weight Loss. We've got AMP. Folks, I can't read them all out. Now, keep typing them in. It's great information to have. Let me ask you all a question, and I want you to pay close attention to this. I want you to feel this question for me, okay? Can you really make $10,000 to $15,000 a month with the business that you just typed in? Is it possible? Is it realistic? Can you really make $10,000 to $15,000 a month with that business? Now, if you don't think $10,000 to $15,000 a month is realistic, is practical, that's fine. Type in the number that you think is possible. Type in the number that you think is practical, okay? All right? Anybody out here on tonight's call think that they can actually retire with the company that they're in and make enough lifetime residual income to never have to have another JOB again? Anybody out here on tonight's call kind of in that position? Awesome. Well, then the next few minutes of this call are probably going to be the sum of the most important questions and answers and thinking that you've ever had in your life, because I want you to really understand. I knew about 8 years ago that I had a business that was going to be one of the most important business ideas I'd ever had. And we had a lot of obstacles in creating myPhoneRoom. But here we are 8 years later. Why? Because I identified every obstacle that was in our way, and I didn't stop at anything until I had solved those obstacles. So let me ask you all this, and I want you to be very honest. It's for your benefit, not mine. How many of you out here on tonight's call know what the number one thing that's holding you back from success in that business is? How many of you out here on tonight's call, you know what it is? And I want you to type it in. Distractions, okay? Got to get in front of more prospects, okay? Got to make sure your company stays in business. Gotcha. Don't have enough leads, okay? You need prospects. You don't have time after work. But you need time and prospects. You need money to advertise. Got it. What are some of the other things? Hate calling. Gotcha. You got to build the list. You got to get the prospects. I understand. What else? What else is really standing? Where do you advertise? What else is really standing between you and making that $10,000 to $15,000 a month? That's the question that I have for you. What is really standing between, okay? You need more automation. You need a better presentation, okay? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to jump into this next one because we got a lot of content to cover here tonight. But this is really, really important, and I want to make sure that you all completely get this. If you don't solve getting the right leads, getting the right prospects, getting a marketing system that's actually going to work, if you don't solve whatever it is that's holding you back, how much money is it going to cost you over the next 12 months? And I want you to type in the answer. This is really important. That's right, Larry. It's going to cost you $150,000. That's right, Joanna. If you don't solve these obstacles, it's going to cost you 10 grand a month. Okay, that's right. It's going to cost you $1 million or more over the next couple of years. Absolutely, Remus. It's going to cost you 100 grand a year. Wayne, you're right. It's going to cost you a lot. How? It's going to cost you 200 grand. Right. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to do my very best to help each and every one of you understand how my phone room can help you overcome those obstacles. Okay, so it's really, really important that you understand that if you don't solve these obstacles, that you're just definitely not going to get to the money that you deserve, and it's just going to cost you way too much money. So let's go through these 17 biggest obstacles that you face in building your business in 2017 and how my phone room solves them. Number one, how many of you out here on tonight's call, be honest, you hate calling leads? There's always somebody out here who says, no, wait a minute, I love calling leads. Well, you may love calling leads, but there's nobody on your team that loves calling leads. Well, here's the thing. At myphoneroom.com, to keep it simple, folks, that's what we do. We have a whole team of native English-speaking, professionally trained phone representatives out there, and they will call anywhere between 5,000 and 50,000 prospects a day for our members. They do the sifting and sorting. They find a qualified prospect based on your script. We're going to talk about that in a minute, and they'll three-way that prospect right over to you. They'll actually take that prospect and book them right into whatever you want, your webinar, your teleseminar, the next step in your sales funnel. We can even do that via a link. So if you hate calling leads, my phone room is going to help you get that job done, okay? Now, the other thing that a lot of you just don't seem to understand is that in life, there's really only two possibilities. Number one, you have leverage, or number two, you're part of somebody else's leverage plan. And one of the things that I can tell you is that you need to have my phone room, because my phone room is like a multiplier of your own efforts. And the bottom line is, look, you come home after a hard day's worth of work, you're not feeling well, or the wife or the kids are busy, or the husband and the kids are, are keeping you busy, whatever the case may be, nothing happens in your business. When you put my phone room to work for you, we're working for you even while you're taking a siesta, at your job, or out with the family, or even while you're out on vacation. The bottom line is you got to put some leverage in your business. And the next thing is rejection. A lot of people, they're just not honest with themselves. We all hate rejection. And one of the things that I did tonight is my very first Facebook live cast. I've never done a live cast. Well, I did one like 10 minutes before the actual webinar, telling everybody to get out to the webinar. But I've never actually done a Facebook live cast, right? So when any of us do anything, there's always a little fear of rejection. And for some of you, there's more fear than others. By the way, and I don't know the exact statistics, but one person actually shared with me that people have a greater fear of public speaking than anything else on the planet. And if I'm not mistaken, it was probably the number 2 or number 3 greatest fear humans have is public speaking. The fact of the matter is, folks, we all face rejection, and then that means we don't actually do anything to get our business being built. So it really just comes down to this. You're probably, you're probably pulled in every direction, right? You got your job, you got your family, you got vacation, you're trying to build your business, you're trying to generate leads, and at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to choose between family time and getting the business where it needs to be. Put my phone room to work for you, and then we will make sure that you actually have enough time. And by the way, it's not just about, not having enough time. Sometimes, isn't it true, we all have 24 hours in the day? Sometimes you're just wasting time and you're not working on the most important area of your business. If you've got people who have already watched your webinar or who have already expressed interest in your company, you need to be talking to them. not cold prospecting new leads that you got that day, right? So you need to work with My Phone Room. We're going to help you get that done. Now, the next thing is, it's kind of funny, my copywriters, they were very confused by this slide, and they just didn't seem to understand it. And so hopefully I'm going to explain it to all of you. Manually dialing, folks, takes forever. I mean, you got to pick up the phone, you got to find the number, you got to type in the number, you hit send, you got to wait 3 or 4 rings before they actually answer the phone, right? And then if you get a voicemail, do you leave a voicemail? Do you not leave a voicemail? Let me tell you something. On average, when you are manually calling, you're going to get through somewhere between 20 and 60 numbers in an hour. And manually calling is just not going to work. Now there's some automated systems. They're like $300 a month, and they'll help you burn through more leads faster. But that doesn't take away from the fact you still have to be the one to put the time in on the phone, and you're still having to call those prospects yourselves, and you're still having to face rejection, right? You need to put My Phone Room to work for you. We use a predictive dialer system so that we can get more calls made per minute than you'd ever do on your own. Okay. Now, the next thing is, and for a lot of you out here on tonight's call, I really hope this kind of makes sense to you, because I think it's important. How many of you on tonight's call, and grab the little questions box here, I'm going to throw in a question at you. How many of you feel like your products or services are so good, right, that if somebody would just take 5 minutes to take a look at what you have, that just about everybody would want to buy? I mean, how many of you really believe that if you could just grab somebody by the ear, make them sit down at a table and go through your business and spend 5 minutes on it, that they would just raise their hand, be as excited as you are about the business, and they would want to join? Okay, how many of you feel like, yeah, it's all these other things are great, but they're not going to take that darn 5 minutes to really put their head in this thing and understand it? Okay, well, and it's always funny because I got fewer responses on that question than any of the other ones. So let me clue you in. I can always tell the people who answer that question, they're very serious. And let me tell you this, okay? Here's the ticket. The reason they won't take that 5 minutes is really twofold. A, you are unwilling to physically grab them by the ear and make them sit down, right? It's 2017. We don't do that anymore. But the real answer is because you are not important enough. If their attorney or their doctor or their priest or their pastor were to call them up by phone and say, hey, I got something you need to take a look at, do you think they would listen to their attorney? Do you think that they would listen, right, to their business consultant? Do you think that they would listen to their pastor or their priest? Okay, so let's just get real here for a moment. If they're not taking the 5 minutes to look at it, it's because you're not important enough. They're not seeing you positioned correctly as someone that can tell them what they need to do. And so one of the little secrets of My Phone Room, call it a serendipitous find if you want. Truth of the matter is, when I started My Phone Room, look, I don't have time to tell this whole story tonight. We'll never get through everything, but I just want to tell you the basics. Not a lot of people on this planet ever have the opportunity to lose $1 million in 90 days. Well, I'm one of those lucky, unlucky people that lost everything in about a 90-day period in the real estate crash of 2008. I didn't start My Phone Room, okay, just to create a product to go sell. I actually started My Phone Room for me because I was so angry. I didn't want to call anymore, right? I didn't want to talk to prospects anymore, but I had to get on the phone and build a home-based business. So I hired a couple of telemarketers, and this is what I did. I gave them all little headsets, and they were over there dialing. And when they found a red-hot prospect, which is what I used to call it, because I own redhotprospects.com, there's nothing over there right now, but when they found somebody who was serious, I would have them walk the phone and the headset over to me. I was laying on a hammock in the middle of my office because the only thing I had left, the only thing I could pull from my property was my backyard hammock. I put it in my office, and I had them bring me the phone. And they had to position me, and when I was laying in my hammock and I would take the headset, this is what I would say. I would say, before you speak, Mr. Prospect, I want to tell you who I am. My name is J. Joshua Beisel, and this is what I've done. Now, before I stand up and talk to you, I got to know, are you dead serious about finding a real way to make an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a week from home? And if they didn't say yes, I didn't get out of my hammock. But here's what I discovered, okay, serendipitously, is that because I had a couple of people calling for me as my assistant, all of a sudden people were listening to me because I was important. Why? Because my assistant was handing me the phone. Does everybody understand that? We did that for a year. I added thousands and thousands of people into the business that I was in and decided to offer myPhoneRoom as a service to all of you. That was 8 years ago, and the rest is history. My point is this: whether you choose myPhoneRoom, and I think it's the most cost-effective solution, or you just go out and hire a couple of part-time people to start calling for you, I don't care. You came out to this webinar to get information, and I came out here to give it. I want you to leave here with real value. So even if you don't get started with myPhoneRoom for whatever reason, maybe on the Facebook live cast you could see my receding hairline and you just said, I can't work with him, his hair's receding too quickly. That would be funny. That would be awesome. That's fine. But get some people to get on the phone. You can't be the first person in the door. You have to have positioning. You have to be important enough or your prospect won't take that 5 minutes to listen to you. And if you feel like I've beat this point home more than any other, it's because, you know what, it's the most important thing you hear tonight. You have got to be important enough for your prospects to listen to if you have an awesome opportunity, if you have awesome products or services, or they're never going to pay attention to you and you're not going to be important. It's 2017. Next one up here. People like to buy. They don't want to be sold, right? So one of the things that you're going to learn out here with myPhoneRoom once you become a member is you're going to get access to our Raw Power Recruiting Training. And inside Raw Power Recruiting Training, I'm going to teach you that recruiting for your business is not sales. I'm going to teach you that if done correctly, you will make that prospect beg to have an opportunity to work with you, okay? I recruit basically the same way that I hire people. Now, we are located out here in Mesa, Arizona. We're in the tallest building out here. It's the Financial Plaza. You have to get through 10 security guards. I mean, it's just a really nice place. And here's the deal. If you came to my offices tomorrow, don't come early because I'm definitely sleeping in. But if you came to my offices tomorrow and you filled out an application, you sat in my office and you wanted to work with myPhoneRoom as an employee, what do you think I'm going to ask you? I'm going to ask you what you bring to the table. I'm going to ask you what your commitment level is. I'm going to ask you how serious you are. Well, guess what? When I'm on the phone or I meet someone out and about for my home-based business, it's the same interview process to recruit that it is when I'm hiring. So there's another little tip, is that you need to make sure that you are treating this like a business and that you're not trying to sell people on buying in. You need to be sifting and sorting and only enrolling people in your business that are going to do what you say, follow the system, and get to work. One quick thing, everybody make a mental note. My number 2 training of all time is called I look at it every day, so I don't know why I'm blanking here, but it's actually called the Vision Recruiting Method. And ironically, it's my shortest training, and Maddie always teases me and said that it's my number 1 training because it's the shortest. It's 35 minutes. But anyone out here on tonight's webinar, get back in touch with Maddie or one of our staff members, regardless of whether you get started with myPhoneRoom. I want you to have that as my gift. I truly believe that training will help you become a better recruiter. If you do decide to get started with myPhoneRoom, we're going to get you into some live recruiting training, take it to a whole nother level, but it's really, really important. I want to make sure that all of you are getting some results out there. We talked a little bit about this in the beginning. It just comes down to this, folks. If you're giving out a link to your business, if you have how many of you out here on tonight's call, how many of you have a web link on the back of your business card? How many of you have a web link on the back of your business card? Don't be shy. I'm not going to beat up on you. I won't name names. How many of you have a link in your email signature? You're out handing out links, okay? All right, only 1 or 2 people willing to cop to it. I get it. I get it. Let me ask you this. How many of you use Google or Facebook or both every day? And how many of you use Google or Facebook every day for free? Would you agree that Google and Facebook combined are some of the most valuable links on the planet, google.com and facebook.com? But what do you expect to pay? 0, right? When you give someone a link, the perception of value is zero. The perception of what they're going to pay is zero, and they're not going to ever remember and go. What is your favorite music band of all time, folks? What is your favorite music band of all time that still tours? We did this on Tuesday night. Nirvana, I don't think tours anymore. Nice try, Jimmy Buffett. Is he still touring? I got to get me out to a Jimmy Buffett concert. Metallica? All right, who else out there? EWF, the Eagles, Snoop Dogg, Rolling Stones are all coming in here. Billy Joel. Oh, I'd love to go see Billy Joel. Bare Naked Ladies. Okay, here's the deal. Let me ask you this. If they were coming to your town to do one show, how much would you pay for tickets to that event? How much would you pay? $150, top dollar, $1,000. You folks getting my point? Google.com, Facebook.com, they're free. When you give someone a link, it's free. Earth, Wind, and Fire, $309. That was a great value. Probably the best $309 you ever spent. Am I right, Tony? Okay. Here's the deal. People are willing to pay as much as is necessary to get to the right event, but they have no perceived value of a link, and that's important. When you get started with myPhoneRoom, you may not have a fancy online sales funnel, and that's okay. Maybe all you've got is a YouTube video. Maybe all you have is a link, and that's okay. We have the ability with myPhoneRoom to turn whatever you got, teleseminar, webinar, link, video, whatever it is, we can turn whatever it is into an event. Now, in addition to turning that no value link into an invaluable event that we can share with your prospects, okay, we're going to be able to track whether or not your prospect goes to that event. And that's really important because a lot of you are out building your business. You have no idea where your prospects are in the sales funnel. You don't know if they're interested. You don't know if they're not interested. Okay, myPhoneRoom is going to track that. I think it's really important that if you don't know where your prospect is in the sales funnel, how are you going to know how to respond to them? Next thing up, it's 2017. Nobody gets emails anymore, folks. I'm going to tell you something right now. Okay, email delivery and email open rates are at an all-time low. And it's not that I'm against email marketing, but here's what I am against. I am against when you're small, which most of you are, and if you're big, great. You have a whole lot of small people on your team that you're responsible to help, right? Of course. So either you or a lot of the people on your team are still small scale. And you may only get 20 or 30 or 40 prospects this month to go through your sales funnel. Do you really want to leave it to chance that 60 or 70% of those people never get the email, or they get the email and it gets watered down? One of the most important things I can tell you that myPhoneRoom will do is take all of those people that we've scheduled, call, sift and sort, qualify with your script, all those people, we're going to make sure that we get them booked in to your event, and we're going to send them a text reminder so that they have the information available to them. The next thing is leads. Now I'm going to tell you right now, how many of you out here on tonight's call know that you got to have the right leads to grow your business? How many of you out here on tonight's call know that leads are just super, super important? Okay? All right. It's an obvious question. I get it. Would you like for me to tell you which lead you will recruit the most number of people on ever? The number one best lead you're ever going to get in your business, and this is without exception, okay, is the lead you generate yourself. It's absolutely imperative, and I'm really excited because our Platinum members are going to get access to Attraction Marketing 101. They're going to get access to Lead Generation Mastery. Those two courses are going to teach you how to generate your own leads. And those are the best leads that you're ever going to have in your business, okay? Now, you don't have that yet. You got to start somewhere. You got to get something to get the leads out of your mouth. So, or, to get the marbles out of your mouth, okay? So what is the next best lead? The next best lead is to try several cost-effective lead sources until you find one that's responding to your type of offer. And I know that as we went back through earlier, we have people that are in health and wellness, they're in electronic services, they're in legal services, okay? They're all across the board. Some of you are in big ticket items, some of you are in smaller ticket items. Here's the thing. You need to find the right lead source that's going to convert on your offer type and then be able to share that with everyone on your team. It's so important, okay? And when you get started here at My Phone Room, we're going to be able to help you with that on a one-on-one basis, get you the right leads for your business, work with you, and on top of that, we're going to make sure that you have the right script. Now, let me tell you something. When we wrote this, the original headline for this was, "Your script sucks, and you know it." And my copywriter was very offended. Very nice lady, known her for many years, and she said that it was the most negative thing I'd ever said. And I said, well, you can put whatever you want on there, but when I get on my live webinar, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Bottom line is, folks, I've read the scripts from most companies, and they suck. And most people will raise their hand and say, I don't know how to write a good script, and I don't take any, it doesn't make me feel bad about myself. I'm not a script writer. Here's the deal. When we started My Phone Room, I got all of the scripts from all of the big names in this industry, going back to Zig Ziglar, okay, Tom Hopkins. I mean, you name them. If they had a script, I have it somewhere in my office, and we use those scripts. Then we made variation after variation after variation until we found the best home-based business scripts on the planet. We have them, no doubt. When you get started, we're going to give them to you. And they're kind of fill in the blank. Now, we have some people that want to completely customize the script, and that's entirely up to you. You can. But this is really important. We have more experience than anybody I've ever heard of or known in writing million-dollar scripts. So we're going to help you write a script, and we're going to monitor the results. If you're not happy with the results, we're going to review that with you live if need be, and we're going to work together until we get a script that is converting on the leads you're bringing in or the leads that we're helping you find, and for your business and for your personally. Now, I want to make sure we don't run out of time tonight. I'm just going to kind of flip through here, but this is pretty clever. I actually said this in a live event several years ago, and I said personal development training made me the happiest broke person I knew. And how many of you kind of feel that way, that your company and the people you're working with, they have all this personal development training. They tell you to wake up in the morning and do jumping jacks and sing Kumbaya and Amazing Grace in front of the mirror and smile at yourself and smile at everybody you meet. And you got all this personal development, and at the end of the day, you're the happiest broke person you know, because you have no idea the mechanical steps that you need to do to actually start generating leads, put those leads through a funnel, and start recruiting people in your business. Is it just me, or is there anybody else out here on tonight's call that kind of feels that way? Okay, right? So what you really need is some training. Now, I've broken it down. Let me make this simple. There's 3 things you need to learn mechanically to build a massive 6 or even 7-figure success story in this industry. Number 1 is how to generate 10 to 15 leads a day. That's red hot prospects training. You're going to get access to that when you get access to My Phone Room. Number 2, okay, is raw power recruiting training. You need to learn to say the words your prospect needs to hear to say yes to get started, right? And that's what raw power recruiting is. It's about teaching you what to say to get people to say yes. And the third one is, and this is exclusively for platinum owners, is going to be our attraction marketing 101. And attraction marketing is all about building a list of people who know who you are and what you can do to help them. Attraction marketing is, I actually took several years off to work on a project, didn't generate a single lead for my business, and my fan base has actually grown to nearly 60,000 people. Okay, so when I'm marketing at a full-time path, my business goes vertical. But I took several years off from actively marketing, my business still grew. Why? Attraction marketing, making it clear to your tribe and to your prospects what it is you do that you can help them with. So for a lot of you, you really just need to get some simple training the right way, some mechanical training to help you reverse engineer your product into bite-sized chunks that are going to get your prospects to respond by showing them what's in it for them, okay? Couple more points here. These are really important. Once you move over to the appointment model, a couple of things that are going to become very evident right away. Number one, if you've been handing out links, you've been working hard and you have no idea what happened, right? You got a random sign up or two, high five, that's wonderful, but you could give out 10,000 links and you're going to get like 2 or 3 visitors at the most and maybe 1 lead out of that, nothing ever happens. As soon as you move over to the event and appointment model, you can start seeing some results in your business, but you're quickly going to learn that half of the people who are scheduled for an event don't attend, and that's very natural. It's part of being a human, right? They had other things come up, they didn't get home in time, the boss kept them late, whatever the case may be. So if you are manually trying to reschedule all the missed appointments, that's a lot of work. Okay? It's twice the work. myPhoneRoom members can actually go in, takes a little bit of a learning curve. 5-10 minutes, you got to go through, take all the people who didn't attend your event, resubmit them as a new list, and we will actually call that for you and rebook them to your appointment, maximizing the value of your time and increase the number of people that actually see your opportunity through the event. So the next thing is there's 2 advanced items here I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to talk about these $5,000 worth of bonuses. I'm also going to share with you a little bit how you can, actually share myPhoneRoom with others and actually get paid while you're building your business, and what the levels of service are that we have. But 2 kind of advanced ideas. Anybody out here on tonight's call been in network marketing before right now, like maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 3 years ago? Anybody out here been with another company 3 months ago? Okay. How many of you, for those of you in that situation, how many of you had 30, 40, 50, 80, 100, 500 people in that other company that probably knew who you were, right? Here's the point. What if there was a way to turn your old warm market into a brand new hot market? Well, myPhoneRoom can do that too. Every situation is kind of considered independently, depending on the relationship and the recognition that you would have had. But we can actually help you revitalize people that you've had relationships with in the past and turn that old warm market into a brand new red hot market. Next, and this is the most advanced one. This is a true story, really exciting for me. Had several people. One that I'm thinking of here personally, and he's actually one of the top marketers out there now. It's kind of funny. When he started with myPhoneRoom, he was making less than $1,000 a month with his home-based business. And he went on to become a multiple 7-figure income earner. And I don't take any credit for that. I didn't train him. His success is his alone. He should bask in his own glory, so to speak. I'm not taking credit for it, but I will tell you this. The number one service myPhoneRoom offers that he used, we haven't even talked about on this webinar. The number one service that he used was letting myPhoneRoom call his downline and invite them out to company events and functions, right? So he wasn't even using myPhoneRoom that much to call his fresh prospects. He had too many coming in, didn't have time. He was using myPhoneRoom to call the people that had joined and inviting them out to company events and functions, because if you want to fight off attrition, you really have to get a team built. You have to get that team growing. You got to keep that team engaged because you're fighting off them quitting, right? So real important here. We'll make sure you get a PDF of this if you need it at some point, but so that you've got that slide, you can kind of review the details. But my point is that once you start getting 5, 10, 15, 20, 200, 500 people on your team, which is why I'm assuming you're out here on tonight's call because you've made the decision that's going to happen, well, myPhoneRoom is going to be the most important way to keep them engaged in company events and functions that you have. So next up here, I want you to just imagine, again, how much more you could get done if you had your own multi-million-dollar call center, multi-million-dollar marketing center that could do all of these things for you. Well, if you had somebody who was full-time or part-time calling your leads, booking your appointments, following up with your prospects, even better, what if you had an entire team of them? Well, myPhoneRoom can be that multi-million-dollar marketing center that can solve those obstacles that are getting in the way of you creating that $10,000 to $15,000 a month that we talked about, and we're going to do it for you at a fraction of the price. Let's talk about how it works, okay? Real simple. We have personal virtual marketing assistants. These are people who I've trained to get on the phone, go through the information, be firm but be personable, represent you well. We have constant training. They get on the phone. They've got a great attitude, and they call your leads for you so you don't have to. They use technology that is $1 million system that we've built from scratch to maximize the connect rate and the contact rate. They're going to, qualify those leads with your script. They're going to, three-way them over to you if you want. They're going to book them into your company event and function, and it's just awesome. All you got to do, send us your leads. Pretty simple. If you don't have leads, we're going to get you some bonus leads. We're going to show you where to go buy leads. You come to class, we're going to teach you how to generate your own leads, which are the best leads you're ever going to get. We're going to call them for you. When we find a qualified prospect, we're going to take them to the next step in your sales funnel, okay? It's that simple, folks. What we do works. We all work hard at it, but we have a great time. And I've just made a quick list here for those of you that want to go through this one more time. We call your leads, sift and sort. We position and edify you. We talked about that. We make sure you're important enough for them to listen to. We can three-way them over to you if you want, make a live introduction. We can book the prospect right into your company presentation. We can add them to an autoresponder for you. We can text the prospect your contact information and the appointment information. Bottom line is we help you turn leads into prospects and those prospects into relationships. All you have to do is plug in and follow up. And this is one of the ways that we do that. When you book an appointment, right, and we get that person to say, yes, I'm going, then we actually text them, right? And we're texting them right from a number that is dedicated for you, right? So if that prospect ever replies back, we're going to be able to respond and push them back into your sales funnel for you, okay? Not like we're doing this where every one of our members, is having to use a shared number. That doesn't do anything, okay? And the way that we're doing it, we're not having to put opt-out information on here or anything like that. We basically, when you get started, we basically have a phone, and it's all, done on our computer screens. It's not a physical phone, but it might as well be just a phone. You can actually go in and respond to these prospects yourself. You're going to be able to log in and respond to these prospects yourself, follow up with them, okay? Hey, I'm available right now. If you've got a couple of quick minutes, let's talk about what you heard on tonight's webinar, okay? It's pretty awesome, right? So this technology is part of why we're maximizing the number of people who actually show up. Now, to get started out here with myPhoneRoom, folks, we've made it pretty easy. We've got 3 different levels of service. We've got the Pro, the Executive, and the Platinum. Look, as I told you at the very beginning, whether you use myPhoneRoom or you go out and hire a bunch of people to get all this done for you, either way, I want you to unblock those obstacles that are holding you back from success, and I want you to have the success I know you deserve. So let me just remind you that if you hire even one person part-time, right, you're probably going to spend, you got taxes, you got to pay unemployment, you got to do all those things, right? That's probably going to cost you in the neighborhood of $200 or $300 a week, and over an annual basis, that's going to be $10,000 or $15,000. And here's the thing. What happens when you come home from work and you realize that you got to spend a couple hours training them, right? What happens when you realize, okay, this person's going to be out sick for a week, or they've got something coming up in their life, or they're going to just quit, whatever the case may be, or they demand a raise, right? So point is that you'd be hard pressed to just spend 10 grand and have a consistent part-time person come in throughout the year. Truth of the matter is, to get the job done, you're probably going to spend $15,000 to $20,000 a year, but still a great investment, because if you're willing to spend that $10,000 to $20,000 a year to unblock the obstacles to help you make a 6-figure income, it makes sense, right? Well, with myPhoneRoom, we can actually help you get started for pennies on the dollar. Why? Because of leverage, right? We already own the multi-million-dollar call center, and our Pro package or starter package is just $577.98, which includes everything you need to get started: software setup, script training. It also includes your first month's membership access fee of $27.98 a month, And when we call your leads for you, you're going to love this. We only charge you for results. So if we're calling people and they don't answer the phone, or the kid answers the phone, there's never a charge for that. We only charge you for people we connect with. If the person is a no or they're not qualified, it's $2. And if we take them all the way through your script, push them to the next level of your sales funnel, it's $4. And the Pro is a great place if you're on a tight budget to get started. You're also going to get access to live workshops and 24/7 replays of lead generation mastery. Why? Because we know that if you're getting started at the Pro level, you definitely need help generating leads. But for those of you that want to take it up a notch, our most popular package is our executive package. The executive package, a little bit more, $1,599.98, worth every penny. That includes everything you need, the software, the setup, the script training, and it's also including your first month's membership of $49.98. But you're going to get access to a couple of additional things here. You're going to get access to raw power recruiting, where I'm going to be teaching you what to say to get your prospects to say yes, and perhaps most importantly, your cost per lead goes down to just $2 for a no or not interested or DQ, and only $3 for a qualified. So, you're literally going to save 25–30% on your call center funds there. So that's really, really important. Also, at this level, we do have a participation-based guarantee, which means you have to do some work. But you should ask for a copy of our $50,000 guarantee because I think it's really important you understand that I know what we do works. I have no doubt about it, and I would love for you to have an opportunity to learn how confident we are that what we do works. Now, for those of you that are really serious about your business, and again, this is not for everyone. This is only for those of you that are really committed to becoming that next 6- or 7-figure income earner in this industry, to really being that success story. We have our Platinum package. Our Platinum package retails for about $3,500, does give you access to all of the things in the previous packages, but actually gives you access to our call center basically at cost. You're paying $1.50 for a no instead of $2, and you're only paying $2 per qualified, so significantly less. You're also going to get access to live training for Attraction Marketing 101, and I think that's really important. But I understand that the Platinum package may not be for each and every one of you out here on tonight's call, and that's why we strictly limit the number of people that we allow to get started at this level anyway. I did promise some bonuses. I'm going to get to that in just a second, but I want to reiterate to you one really important thing. This works. We've got over 58,000 likes on our Facebook fan page. More importantly, when you get started and we start sifting and sorting your leads, we can three-way those qualified prospects over to you. They say yes according to your script, and we can literally three-way them right over to you, and we say, hey, Tom, this is Jay Joshua giving you a call from your office out here in Mesa, Arizona. I've got a prospect, Sally, on the line. Sally's been working as a nurse. She's looking for a career change. She's looking for a way to change her financial life. Have you got just a couple of quick minutes? And if you do, you say yes, and I three-way the call. You only talk to people that say yes. Now, some of you, you're not going to take three-way calls. I get that. But here's the thing. If you have any doubts about what we do, know this. Get started. Day 2 that you're started, the first day you've got your script loaded and leads loaded, we're going to three-way you with red hot prospects. And there can be no doubt that when you're talking to a prospect that you gave us and that prospect is interested, there can be no doubt that what we do works. And I just think that that's really, really important. So let's talk a little bit about these bonuses here. Make it fairly simple, give you an opportunity to lock in your spot here in just a couple of seconds. But number one, I'm going to give you a free upgrade to our Platinum package. So those of you that kind of saw that $3,500 package and said that's definitely for me, but I need to meet with my accountant to find out how I can unlock $3,500. No need to meet with your accountant. You can get to that $3,500 package for just the price of the executive, the $1,599 level. So that's going to be really good. In addition to that, I'm going to give you $500 worth of EGQ leads absolutely free. This is a great way to get in and start getting results in your business, get the marbles out of your mouth, actually experience the system, and kind of decide which type of lead is going to work best for your business. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. Here's the other thing we're doing, and we're only doing this for a limited time because it's our big relaunch. I'm going to give you a free membership to give to somebody on your team. Now listen, folks, this is network marketing. What that means is it's not what you can do, it's what you can get done. If you're out here on tonight's call, you're here because you're going to build a team. Somebody on that team, maybe you know them, maybe you don't. Somebody on your team is going to hate calling leads too, but they got a lot of potential. They don't know where to generate leads, but they're willing to put in the effort and energy to learn. Well, here's the deal. Once you get started, we're going to give you a completely free membership that you can give to somebody on your team so that they can get all the benefits we've just been talking about for their business, which will in turn help you grow your business even more. The other thing we're going to be doing is live script writing assistance. And I got to tell you, we were working with one of our members today. They have a relatively high-priced business opportunity. They're going to need some custom work, and I know Maddie worked with them, and ultimately I'm going to end up on the phone with that client, and we're probably going to spend 30 minutes to an hour together making sure that you have the right script. And I'm not offering this forever. I'm offering this for right now. If you're serious, there's never going to be a better time than now to actually get in here and get started, because I may personally end up helping you write your script. And to be honest with you, my time is really valuable. I really don't have a lot of time that's extra. So if you're serious about your business, I'd love to be working with you personally to help make sure that you get the results. Also, remember I told you that when we're texting your prospects, right, it's basically like we have a whole nother phone system where you have a dedicated number that we're actually texting back and forth with your prospects, right? You're going to be able to log in and see the text communication, jump in if you want, right? Well, we're not charging you anything for that. Those of you getting started now are going to get locked in for life. Not going to be any additional charge for that texting. So that one is really, really important, and I definitely want you to have it. One last thing here before I give you what you need to do to take action and lock in your spot, folks, is that if you think about it, how many of you out here on tonight's call know that multiple streams of income just make sense? How many of you know that it just makes sense, right? How many of you out here on tonight's call actually know a lot of people who are in network marketing companies, right? They're the ones calling you every week trying to recruit you or hitting you up on Facebook, or maybe they were in your downline before, upline before, crossline, whatever the case may be. Here's the thing, my phone room really works. Get started. Let us prove that to you so that there can be no doubt. Start sharing my phone room with other people, and you can pick up commissions of $200, $400, even $800 over and over. I can't tell you how many 1099s at the end of the year that I've signed for people making $50,000, $100,000 a year, and my phone room's certainly not their primary income. I know several people who have actually ended up with their company didn't give them all the opportunity they hoped for, and they ended up making more money sharing my phone room that year than anywhere else. It's a great product. You share it. By the way, if there's anybody out here that's totally offended by the idea of multiple streams of income, we will gladly donate the money to a charity, a reputable charity of your choice, if you choose that the commission kind of conflicts with your beliefs. Here's what I want you to do, folks. Real important here, because I'm going to limit this. I can't do this for everyone. I want you to grab the phone right now. Even though it's after hours, I do have some staff standing by to take a message. I want you to call toll-free 800-222-8289. It's going to ring and ring and ring and ring. Eventually, somebody's going to answer, go through their little information, give them your name, your email address, and phone number, because I need you to call in right now if you want to claim your spot with these bonuses at the Pro, the Executive, or the Platinum. Remember, if you're going to get started the Executive, you might as well get all the way upgraded to that Platinum. If you wanted to get upgraded to the Platinum, you're going to save like $1,900, and you're going to get the free one too. So I need you to call in at toll-free 800-222-8289. Give them your information. Make sure that we've got the right phone number to reach you, and we'll put you in order that you call, and we'll be reaching out to you tomorrow to kind of walk you through, answer your questions, and to actually help you get started. Also, I wanted to make an announcement here. She's been working nonstop, night in, day out, so to speak, and she was on our Tuesday night version of this call. She's not actually out here with us tonight, so I'll take the opportunity to kind of tease her a little bit anyway. but most of you that are out here have at some point or another heard about Maddie Glennon. She is somebody who has been our affiliate manager. She has just been a driving force in our company. Maddie and I have worked together for 9 years, and she has been so important to this business, and she is infinitely more well-liked than I am in my company. My clients all say, "You're great, Josh, but let me talk to Maddie." We've now made Maddie the president of our company, and we've given her the opportunity to really help our business grow by leading out in some of the areas that are really her skill set with customer service, making sure that things get done. And our customer service, our customer satisfaction has never been higher. It's just fantastic. So I also want to give her number out here too for those of you that know her. That number is area code 602-751-8791. Make sure that if you are a past customer or you've just been kind of hanging out there, make sure that you give Maddie a ring. We want to have an opportunity to kind of stay connected. Folks, we're going to do amazing things this year, and I want all of you to be a part of it. We're going to make a splash out on the scene with Facebook Live and some of these other trainings that we're going to be doing, and we really want you to have an opportunity to be a part of it. We really want to just interact with you. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close out tonight's call. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Don't forget, if you want to lock in that $500 bonus leads, you want to lock in that $1,900 discount on the Platinum package, get that free myPhoneRoom membership to give out to somebody on your team, just jump on the phone right now and call 1-800-222-8289, and I will see each and every one of you at the top and on the inside. Bye for now, everyone.